DC is killing the Justice League, and you want to know my thoughts? Ho ho ho! Buckle up, it's going to be a fun ride. More right after this. Can we go one day without some crazy stunt that DC needs to do to drum up failing sales? But here we are. So, as you guys have probably heard, DC is planning on killing the Justice League this April in Justice League issue 75 to basically honor or tribute or try to rake in the cash from the death of Superman 30 years ago. Now, let me just explain this real quick. The reason why the death of Superman was so, shocking and successful is because, well, it had never really been done before. Yes, Superman had died, but not in the way that he did in the death of Superman. Now, the death of Superman literally died. He was pulled from everything that he was attached to in DC Comics. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm dead in my book, but here you can read my adventures in Man of Steel, or see me in World's Finest with my best pal Batman. No, he was dead and gone, replaced by 4 other Steel, Connor, who was, Superboy then, the Eradicator, and Cyborg Superman. And that was it. Superman literally was dead and buried, and that was the end of Superman until later, the death and return of Superman, where he came back to life, and then they killed Green Lantern after they made him evil. So, I mean, comic book stunts are never, a new thing. They always happen. They try to do things to drum up sales. Look what they did to Tim Drake, earlier last year. They, sold some issues with the 2 things that actually talked about it. And for the most part, Legends has been an utter failure. And, some people are interested in Tim more, and others drop the books. Because when you make a stunt, it doesn't always work out. Yes, it gets companies to talk about your stuff for a limited time, and then they move on to your next thing, going after Wonder Woman, or doing something with Jonathan Kent, or that horrible thing they did to Clark Kent in prison. They just go from one thing to the next. They skip around. Whatever works, works. And now we've come to the death of the Justice League. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, how is this going to work out? Because Wonder Woman has this big storyline coming out in August. It's like, well, is it Diana or is it Donna Troy? Who is Wonder Woman? I don't know. I don't follow anything other than Bat books. And can we just get this out of the way, please? Can people stop assuming that I actually care and like DC Comics? The characters are completely unrecognizable to me today. It's not the same characters that I loved and admired growing up. It's complete and utter strangers. If this wasn't my job, like the most of you, I would just be watching anime and reading manga, because that stuff's fun. I don't want to be constantly reminded how much the world sucks or what activist thing I need to be championing. I don't care. It doesn't appeal to me. DC is always running after that phantom audience, and what's going to happen is Discovery's going to come in and Falcon punch them in the gut. And I will have the popcorn and the camera ready for when that happens, and a bunch of these blue-haired weirdos are out on their butts. I'm going to find that hilarious. But until then, for years, I have just, gradually not cared about DC. I have all these people DM me and email me all the time, and personally, when I saw this article today, I laughed. Because, one, it's not going to have the same lasting appeal of the death of Superman, because Clark Kent and Batman are probably going to show up in some other books, most likely. Or if they do radically kill these guys, then they're effectively going to kill their brand. Because I'm just going to be completely brass tacks honest with you guys. No one likes Jonathan Kent Superman. They liked him when he was a little kid in the Super Sons book. He's a pretentious jerk, and no one likes him, except for the crazies on Twitter. So I wouldn't really say that's the Superman for this generation. An unlikable Superman does not equal green. You know what I mean? Damian is still kind of popular, but it's not the same. Super Sons was a good thing. They canceled it. You reap what you sow. Same thing. Robin's not really all that successful right now, like Tim Drake. More people are interested in the Nightwing books because of the Babs and Dick Grayson relationship, and also the fact that you made him a billionaire. That's an exciting, fun read. And the Wally West books are good. But for the most part, DC is just kind of bleh right now. And this is their way of trying to shake the waters and be like, hey, we're going to throw some nostalgia your way. You know some of you guys that really love like Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent and Diana and John Stewart and Zatanna. Well, we're gonna kill all those people, Aquaman and Martian Manhunter, and they're gonna die basically fighting evil variants of their multiverse counterparts. So death metal, but without the awesomeness that was death metal. I mean, you really have to wonder where they get these ideas. I just don't see. This is why, I mean, honestly, yes, I watch anime and I read manga because it's tiring to be a DC Comics fan. I like Nightwing, I like the movies and the video games, and that's about it. Do I read every issue of Batman that comes out anymore? No, I haven't for years. I don't care. When it comes out in a graphic novel, maybe I pick it up. If you guys want me to do a lore video, I'm happy with my Batman knowledge stopping after DC Rebirth. I don't care anymore. I just don't. You know, it doesn't... Whatever. I'm not going to start up an anime channel or something like that because, you know, that's not what this brand is. When you get typecast, you're typecast. You know, it's like I'm the Adam West of YouTube when it comes to Batman stuff, and I'm fine with it, you know? I got a lot of great stuff coming out when Gotham Knights finally releases, if it releases this year. But that's another story. But also, no, I don't believe Discovery's going to do anything with DC this year. They have a lot of work on their hands with WB Pictures, Warner Television, Warner Animation, and WB Games, and they've got to straighten that stuff out. So no, they're not going to do anything about this stunt with the Justice League. Their priorities are going to be those things because that's what's going to make them money. Newsflash, DC Comics, other than their IPs, doesn't make them money. It bleeds money for AT&T. Why do you think they almost got sold off a couple years ago? They hire these bums off the street. They give them work with their liberal arts degrees. They're not writers. And it's just a train wreck. And I'm tired of watching the car crash over and over again and caring who dies and who doesn't. You know, if Nightwing was up on the chopping block, yeah, I'd probably be, you know, kind of upset because I still care about those characters. I like Barbara. I like Dick Grayson because they are very familiar to me. They're kind of how I remember reading during the Chuck Dixon and Gal Simone, Devin Grayson years, for the most part. You know, they're likable characters. One thing that I could see them doing, which would just prove everything that I've said about DC the past, like, 3 years now, where I've just become kind of like this mean guy towards DC Comics. One, they don't care about their fans, which is very obvious by their constant verbal wars on Twitter, which I have pretty much every DC Comics pro you can think of blocked. And I'm a lot happier, too, because I don't have to see their ramblings and ranting and then their, you know, thing afterwards. Boo-hoo! Why is no one reading my book? You told them, if you don't like my politics, don't read my book. What did you think was going to happen, moron? Consume what I tell you to consume. No, it doesn't work that way. If you go out of your way to, you know, basically scoff at your audience, that would be like me saying, not saying that, but no one is allowed to watch my videos other than people that like Batman. I would never say that. If you like superheroes, Marvel, whatever, I don't care. You like anime, cool. Watch my videos. You know, it's all green to me. It doesn't matter. I don't care what you do. As long as it's legal. Of course, then I care what you... But you know what I mean. You know, I'm not going to go on a tirade and tell people that if you belong to a certain group, you're not allowed to watch or consume my stuff. I will accept your money however you want it. You know, as long as you continue to watch my stuff, cool. We're on great terms, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't understand why they let idiots like that work for them. But that's besides the point. So I was talking to some people before I made this video, and they were like, so where do you think DC is going to go with this? It's like, I mean, there's a couple things. One, like by killing off these big characters in this multiverse war that's not going to be as exciting as Death Metal was, because that was actually written really well. They could probably try to replace the DC characters with the future state ones, which completely are unpopular. Nobody likes them. Tim Fox is a bore as Batman. Jonathan Kent is a whiner and not Superman. The Wonder Girl was really good, though. The Brazilian Wonder Woman. She would work, but they wouldn't do that. I mean, their Justice League is kind of dumb. Future State in general is a failed experiment. You know, the fact that they're still trying to milk the books is just laughable, but whatever. So they could go that route, you know, basically replace the icons with completely unlikable characters. If this was going to be a permanent thing and they were trying to be successful, I mean, you could easily just have Nightwing's team, like the older Titans, take over of their respected mentors, and you could probably get that to work for about a year or two. then sales would take a dive because even the legacy characters, the sidekicks of the original mentors, they couldn't, take the place of the OGs. It just wouldn't work. And also, you would have to really dedicate it. Like, they would have to be dead and gone in all their books. And according to a lot of different people who've been talking to me, the Batman books are still planned out. The Wonder Woman books are still planned out. The Aquaman books, John Stewart stuff, it doesn't seem like this is going to stick in other issues. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But I don't care. So if they go the future state route, I mean, they're just digging themselves a bigger hole because no one really likes the future state characters. So no, to address that, I don't believe that the good characters, the legacy characters, will replace the icons. They'll probably do the future state characters, if at all. Another thing somebody brought up that is being echoed on Twitter, which may or may not be true, I don't know. I don't really run in that circle, but they're saying that they're going to make the Justice League mirrored after the new Justice League that we're going to get from the DC Cinematic Universe. And no, I'm going to say no to that because they're killing off Wonder Woman, so Diana Prince. They're killing off Arthur Curry, Aquaman. He's dead. They're killing off Bruce Wayne, so no Michael Keaton. And Supergirl in comic books is not that popular, just like the Supergirl in the Flash movie is not going to be that popular. And Batgirl isn't even Barbara Gordon, really. She's Oracle at the moment. Oracle that walks around. I mean, whatever you want to think of that. But, hey, don't knock the Nightwing books. It's some of the best stuff. It's actually probably the only best stuff outside of the Wally West run right now at DC. So, these guys can't drive very well, can they? Oh my gosh, it's like watching Pennsylvanian drivers. No offense, Pennsylvania. Hey, I live here. I can make fun of it. I literally have seen people, like, run into people at stop signs, get out, ask if they're okay, and then just drive off. No exchange of insurance information whatsoever. I've always thought about having, like, a camera on my house just to film, like, the different traffic things that happen, and then maybe make a YouTube, like, bloopers channel, just so people can see how crazy it is here. But that's besides the point. So, no, they're not going to go the new DC Extended Universe route either. No idea what they're planning on doing. They did say, like DC Comics, that the characters supposedly will be dead and gone. There's going to be no Justice League books after this, but also they could be canceling the Justice League books because they're not selling very well. I'm not really sure. I haven't read Justice League in a very long time. It hasn't interested me. I haven't picked up the Frontier thing. I didn't even know they were fighting a dark multiverse anymore because I've just been following the Nightwing books and having a blast. I picked up Urban Legends a little while ago and then dumped that series quite a while ago. It didn't interest me at all. I didn't like the direction they were going. I didn't like what they did to Stephanie. It didn't make any sense to me. It was like reading bad fan fiction. I was just like, yeah, I can write better stuff than this, so I don't care. Doesn't interest me. I had more fun reading scripts for canceled Batman movies than staying current with, DC Comics. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of this is laughable to me, but some people are thinking this is kind of like the end of the world for the Justice League. It's like, I promise you, when sales begin to dip, and they will, especially if they replace them with the stale DC future state characters, especially Tim Fox and Jonathan, things like that, yeah, they'll be begging for the original Justice League back. But the thing is, will the readership come back? I don't know how many people still read or like the Justice League, but a lot of normies, when they hear the Justice League is gone, some of them might get freaked out a little bit, but again, it's probably not going to be this big, massive thing the way the death of Superman was, because that was monumental. People really thought Superman was gone for good. Even I didn't think he was coming back. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, they did something that was insane, and it made me, as a Batman person, to just, like, have so many Superman comics, because I was just hoping that maybe there'd be some evidence that he would come back. And of course they teased evidence that Superman was going to return, so it was just kind of like, wow. But yeah, I was all in back then. I don't see myself being all in for this, and I don't think a lot of you guys will either. You don't really care. It's just not really something that is going to appeal to anybody right now. Especially with the mess they have with their cinematic universe at the moment. It's just kind of all over the place there. But yeah, that's really all I had to say on that, There's really not much to talk about other than they're going to kill the Justice League. Supposedly one person's going to survive. Most likely to be Zatanna. Biggest icons you can think of. And their replacements that they've been trying to, like, force everybody to like the past 6 months are just nothing compared to their predecessors. They're the exact opposite. It's like third generation or something like that. The superheroes are fourth, trying to replace the first generation. It's not going to work. I mean, if you want to watch DC burn and stuff like that, cool. I'm tired. I really am. I don't care. You guys wanted me to report on it? Cool. There you go. That's my honest to God thoughts. It's now 4 in the morning. You know, maybe I'll tweet about this. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But yeah. Take care, everybody. There's some cool like Batgirl related news that's gonna be happening soon, and that's all I really got. No updates on the Nightwing casting yet. Supposedly that's rumored for February. Still, there's no updates. There's no movement, anything like that. And there's no word on Gotham Knights either, or Multiverses, or Suicide Squad. I'm getting seriously nervous. The only big thing happening is Discovery in April. April now, so I'll have to get that Discovery video up soon before, you know, more people start talking about it. But take care, people. Thanks so much for listening. And, yeah, drive safe and all the other stuff. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about cars because I'm watching these cars literally smash into one another. It's okay, they're right on cue. Awesome. That's great. Cool. Cool, cool. All right, guys. God bless. Happy gaming. Thanks so much for listening. Later, Gothamites.